Welcome back. We're at the team hotel for the Wheelchair Rugby League England side ahead of the World Cup final against France. Massive game, joined by Carl Amor and Rob Hawkins. And Rob, we've been talking to a couple of your teammates, your coach this morning. I was already really excited. I think I'm now more excited for this game on Friday than any game of rugby league ever.
Yeah, especially with that first game against Australia to start off the match. I know a report came out saying that we had like 700,000 people watching alone just on TV, and that's just an average from what we know. And we want to try and grow it as much as we can to get more of them actually watching. And I think this Friday, with us being the only England team actually making it to that final, it's going to make it even better for our sport, and hopefully we can be that England team to bring it home.
Pretty much every conversation I've had with non-rugby league fans who've mentioned the World Cup to me has been about the wheelchair game. And are you kind of aware of the impact that you're already having, regardless of what happens on Friday?
Yeah, with the TV coverage we're getting, I remember one at matches we were walking back from Copper Box. I think it was our last game. It was against Spain actually. We actually played and we walked back because we wanted to watch the Ireland and Australia match. And let's just say we had people coming up to us and saying, "Oh, well played" and all this, and congrats. And it felt really weird for a lot of us because we hadn't been in that spotlight. We'd never been in the spotlight before. This is my first World Cup, so I know a lot of boys just saying we never had this before, and I can't think of how they took their World Cup back in 2017, and how much of an impact that had, and if we compare it to how much impact it's had now with all of us just being mentioned everywhere on social media and just having that support from people around the world, it just makes it even more better.
And what's it like for a young lad? You know, you are 20-year-old, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
20-year-old, one of the youngest, if not the youngest in this squad. What's it like for you as a young man dealing with the expectation of an England shirt for a start, and then all the things that you spoke about on top of that?
So the expectation, it's obviously you want to be performing at your best any point you can, because you know you got people watching, you got supporters watching, and it's that expectation that I don't want to let them down. It's let the whole country down, and I do want to do my best. But I think as well, for how it is, it can help us grow the sport and bring more popularity to it. So it's more excitement as well, that we can grow the sport and show it off to more people, and hopefully have more televised games so people can watch it. Because I know a lot of people have said online, it's my first time watching it, and I honestly love this sport. I think I've seen a couple say that it's better than the actual non-wheelchair game.
Well, Lewis, I think when you've got players mention that word excitement, in my experience, the teams that are most excited are genuinely the ones who perform the best, you know, and I just hope that certainly is the case for you guys. Just, you know, you've got something on your team board over there that says celebrate all the wins.
Yeah.
How good would it be to just get one more, and how much would this group of players celebrate that?
I think we'd all be really emotional. We've already said Friday's going to be a very emotional day. So we're going to celebrate. I know we celebrated last night with Seb coming home. Well, coming back here with Golden Boot, we celebrated massively. We had all team in here, and we were all celebrating it with him. And we could tell he was getting a bit emotional at the same time because he's worked hard for it. So we try and find anything that we can celebrate, even if it's just something as little as we had a really good team session, or we did something to help out the community. That's just celebrating those wins, and it's keeping that morale high and just helping us get one step further to that, lifting that trophy on Friday.
And that's something that I picked up on as soon as we walked in here this morning. And I would say it's been exactly the same when we've been in the men's camp for this World Cup and the women's. But there's a real club feel, club mentality to these setups. And Carl, you'll know from playing club rugby and international that sometimes that's not always a given, but when you can achieve it, it's a massive benefit for the international side, isn't it?
Yeah, huge. You know, that togetherness, you know, that's why we play the game, isn't it? You know, we get involved in the game because we feel part of a club. We have a social identity then, don't we? You know, that togetherness is everything that the game's sort of built upon, really. And I think when you have it at this level, you know, all the club rivalries and stuff put to one side, they're all coming together, pulling towards that common goal. And I just think that they've got a huge opportunity ahead of them here. I also think that, you know, you talk about it being an emotional night, you know, in my experience, so you've got to pull that emotion away and you've got to concentrate on the job at hand and then pour all the emotion afterwards, you know. So, yeah, I just think I wish you all the very best. I think, you know, you've got a huge opportunity again in front of you, And I think from all of us, we just wish you every bit of luck. For Friday night.
Kyle, you've been part of a very successful St Helens team. Dominant in some seasons in the league, dominant across those 3 grand final wins. When you're in a team that is expected to win those games and is at that level, like these guys have been throughout the tournament going into Friday, how many of those games are won before you even step out on the field because of the mentality and the kind of unity that we've heard from these boys?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that statement. I always used to do it the other way around and think that teams coming to us were already sort of 16, 20 points down before they got off the bus, and how you put them in that place is you just start with that ruthless mentality, and when you start like that, you put seeds of doubt in their head, and they almost just put the cue in the rack and go, well, we'll come back another day when we've got an easier game coming up. However, I don't think that it is a given that these guys win. I'm sure that that's not what's been spoken around in camp. They respect their opposition massively, and the best way to respect them is giving your best. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't think there's too much that splits these two sides. You look down personnel in the team, and you can argue, which one's the better player. There isn't an awful lot between them. But one thing that has been mentioned by the playing group here is they believe the bench has got a little bit more depth than the French. And I'm just curious to get your thoughts, Rob, around where you see the strengths in your England side.
I think with the strength is that mainly we have a strength off the field as well as on the field. Off the field is we're more of a band of brothers. We don't think about that team. We don't think about where we've come from. We're all England at this point. So that's where we beat the French really, because throughout COVID and throughout before that, a lot of us have been together for years, even before 2019, before I came in. So we all have that really good relationship together. But on the field, it's literally just we can rotate people without feeling like we're at disadvantage at any point. We have that level of skill where we're all basically the same, to the point where we could be just the same player, except no one can match Jack Brown. But end of the day, we can, if we sub him off, we know we still got a strong team together. So as long as we stay connected in D, which is one of our biggest things that we always go on about, is being staying connected in D. No one can break through us.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because every single player and coach that we've spoke to has said the similar sort of thing, isn't it?
They've all mentioned Jack Brown.
They've all mentioned Jack Brown, and they've all mentioned now there isn't a drop in intensity whenever someone enters the field. So you can tell the togetherness by interviewing these guys separately, that they're all on the same page, and it's just a great thing to hear and see.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable Friday night, isn't it? We're all behind you, mate. We wish you the best of luck, and looking forward to seeing you win that on Friday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All the best,
guys.
mate.
Thank you.